we were equipped with iron, with an aesthetic iron lungs. Yes, we are patient. We are patient in Wilson Hospital. In Wilson Aesthetic Hospital, we are carrying our aesthetic iron lungs. And this is a reason why we found this extremely sophisticated, well taken care of environment of Southampton and Long Island as extremely drab, because we were kept here artificially, breathing through our iron aesthetic lungs in this high pressure aesthetic chamber, yes, and after leaving it, we found everything extremely drab, offending in its ugliness. Well, we laughed, but we were shocked. But the feeling of drabness was so strong that the reasons why we were receiving this outside world as so drab were, so to say, forgotten. It shows also that this architecture works discreetly but extremely. It's like a kind of a shot you are getting in the left arm, and suddenly you are maybe not aware of the effects. Other effects are immediately there.
I would like to say quickly that this drabness I'm referring to, this is not the shacks which we saw, which are very stylish. This is a kind of Uncle Tom cabin, and they are extremely refined, and I don't need to tell you that, because it's obvious for an American eye how sophisticated is the rendering of these cabins around the center. But we are saying about the drabness in the quotation mark of going to Southampton and suddenly facing the real world as it is, after being disconnected from our iron lung, after leaving the hospital, after the leaving high-pressure aesthetic chamber.
This is this through effect, which is theatrical coup. Well, this is confusing with my accent. This is tomb, yes, of course.
He means tomb.
But the tomb, which is azure, the tomb you can pierce, the tomb you can run through. It is a delusion, of course, and it's a theatrical coup. It's a piece of theater, of a theater pure, put into the wings of the very austere Wilson aesthetics. So there is a juxtaposition of big and austere.
Ajay, maybe we just go on and not too much talking now? In this sequence?
This is what I hear from him very often.
Yes, Thomas, was that not amazing that in this Wilson fantasy world we suddenly experience a moment of fear? And this was the moment in which we entered through the western facade, first going through the stones, the river stones, and then the perspective changed as we saw the same stone ensemble from a catwalk of the knee.
Andrzej and Thomas were once locked in on the iron catwalk. The door to the outside couldn't be opened from there. It was cold. They were wearing socks because inside the building you took your shoes off. No one could hear Andrzej and Thomas screaming for help. For Thomas, this was the most intense experience of Wilson's architecture, directing him to focus on the now, and the body, and dialogue. Now, Robert Wilson was once locked in on the catwalk himself. One would imagine that he liked it, being alone, for a while. But actually he didn't like it at all, waiting for people to react to him and getting no answer. Now, perhaps a poet can survive being left alone on a desert island. But how about a theater maker?
And suddenly this knee was not only an aesthetic invention, theater inserted in architecture, as we said, yes, a kind of Wilsonian humor, but strangely enough, suddenly it became a scare. It became a watermill center scare, the center of fear. And what we experienced there was this incident in which we both locked ourselves in the catwalk, hanging over the river stones, and with river stone beneath us, locked in the knee. The knee was no more architectonical joke, but it was again the center of fear. And then we were told that the same experience had the creator of this architecture, Robert Wilson. He locked himself in the catwalk, and obviously he also experienced this moment of fear. And of course, all European association with a big power came through our head, with Brecht, with Smetana, with Eisler, with Moldau-Lied, this wonderful song from Schweig im Zweiten Weltkrieg.
You want to quote it?
Auf Grunde der Moldau standen die Steine, 3 Kaiser liegen begraben in Prag.
Auf Grunde der Moldau wandern die Steine, 3 Kaiser liegen begraben in Prag. Die Nacht hat 12 Stunden, dann kommt schon der Tag.
This is about the rhythm of nature and the rhythm of history. Those stones which move under the water are not visible. This is the rhythm of nature. And there above goes the dialectics of history. What once was great remains not great, and what was once small remains not small. The night has 12 hours, then comes the day.
So, here are those screens, fly screens. They make Thomas feel screened. They make Thomas feel like he's looking out at the world through strange sort of sunglasses. This is the price you pay for aesthetic freedom.